On February 26, 1996, a little game called Pokémon was released in Japan. We now know this game under the name Pokémon, and is now one of the biggest franchises in the gaming industry. It has anime, merchandise, manga, it also has an entire theme park, the usual things. I did not make that last one up. A lot of people associate the franchise with childhood memories. Whereas the fun you have while the game, the laughs, the nightmares, the Whitney's milk tank. But after all of that, there is one game from the entire franchise who has been either overlooked or straight up forgotten. And that game is Pokémon Channel. July 18, 2003, Pokémon Channel was released in Japan under the name Pokémon Channel Pikachu Toishio for the Gamecube. However, in the North American version that came out in December 1st, 2003, the Pikachu tagline was removed. And the same was also on the European version on April 2nd, 2004. Looking at the cover, you can see 5 different characters. There's Pikachu, the face of the Pokémon brand, and then we have Torchic, Trico, and Mudkip, which are the starters for Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emeralds, establishing that this game is in fact a Gen 3 Pokemon spin-off game. Having that now out of the way, there's also the TV, which I will count as a character since the TV is the most important thing of the game. The game was developed by Umbrella. They're known for making Pokemon spin-off games like Pokemon Rumble, Pokemon Dash, and My Pokemon Ranch with the 18 naked Pokemon. The first game was Hey You Pikachu, which is a prequel to Pokémon Channel. It was under a publishing agreement with Nintendo, so every game they made was with Nintendo. In 2020, the company had to disband because Creatures, another company that worked with Nintendo, received all property rights to Umbrella. Yeah, but nobody really cares about the history, so we're just gonna move on to the game now. Pokémon Channel, unlike the other Pokémon games, is not a JRPG. It's in fact a point-and-click adventure game sprinkled in with a little bit of Tamagotchi. Basically meaning, whatever you see, you click on it, while you also take care of your virtual pet, which in that case is Pikachu. The game focuses more on the experience than gameplay. You'll realize it real fast with point-and-click adventures that it's more about what you see and not what you do. We'll get to the seeing part right now.
This show is brought to you by these sponsors here.
Can I get your attention real quick? Don't worry, I'll make it short. I heavily rely on your support to even make these kind of videos. So if you want to see more of this, you better like and subscribe and share the video. That's it, let's continue. Professor Oak needs your help. Pokemon Channel is a TV broadcasting network that airs a variety of Pokemon programs, and he's selected you as the initial test audience. With the help of Pikachu and other Pokemon, you can make Pokemon Channel the highest rated channel on your TV. Starting the game, there are 2 options, New Game and Options. If you choose Options first, we can enable Rumble, have the e-reader bonus, and have credits. If we start the new game, we confirm our time and dates, and we'll be thrown off to our first cutscene. The cutscene starts with Magnemites delivering a TV to the player while Pikachu, Trico, and Torchic are watching from afar. Professor Oak starts talking to the player while also asking for your name. The protag name is actually Seth, but since this is my experience, I'm gonna call myself Dekunut5.
It was a misinput, calm down! You calm the fuck down!
After naming the protag, you can watch the Pichu Bros. Pichu Bros in Party Panic is a special anime made for the game. It never aired on TV. It's also an anime episode that has been split into 5 parts. Starting off with Pichu Bros Part 1. We have Team Rocket's Meow planning something probably evil, we don't know that yet. He has cards that are shaped like a crescent moon, and then the theme song plays. While the theme song plays, the Pichus are running around, Smoochum is dancing, and notice some weird cards that Meowth had in the beginning of the episode. Teddiursa is eating nuts from a tree and he falls down and fucking dies. And then we have Magpie avoiding steaming pipes. And Whooper being Whooper. After the intro, Smoochum brings up the cards and the gang tries to investigate what's happening, like the real Yakuza. They stumble upon Napalm and Smeargle. The two then explain to the Pichu Force that the cards are actually invitation. To what, you might ask? Well, you have to find out the next episode, because that's where the cliffhanger is. You're now thrown back to the tutorial. Now you learn about the report channel. The report channel is a channel that saves the game and progresses through the story. Yep, it's a plot device, we need it, I get it. Also, scary moment alerts. I'm actually gonna make a video on this, right? I have to turn off the TV. Good. Turn off. How does he talk to me? After you adopt a Pikachu, because you got forced into doing that, I swear to God, officer, it's not my fault, you get your Pokepad. And I completely forgot what that even did. So apparently it's your pause menu where you can check your logs and your items. That's it. Yeah, it's really not that interesting. Let's talk about the interesting channels. We have PNF, which means Pokemon Newsflash, which is just CNN, but Psyduck is the host. That's awesome. He's also reporting the news, while also falling asleep. That's double awesome. And Meowth is conducting interviews. And the interviews actually are helpful because they show where a Pokemon can be located. Sharp and Squirtle, a channel hosted by Squirtle, but with sunglasses. And like the name suggests, it's a shopping channel where you get free items presented and you can decide if you want to buy them or not. Every time an item gets presented, Squirrel also does a good pose, which is way better than I've ever seen in any JoJo episode ever. Move over, Joes does. There's also a little customer that gives their opinion on the product, which can be biased, but it also led to funny moments like these. It's not easy finding this. Replace your existing wallpaper. Let's hear what a customer has to say. It's the ultimate and cool. That's like a Shadow Hedgehog quote. Coming from Mr. Mime out of all of them. It's the ultimate of cool. Also, Delibird Prime. Delibird just fucking delivers the item to your house. It does depend if it's an important item or not. So I'm just gonna say, if the item says immediate delivery, that's an important item and you have to buy it. So this is me in post right now, and I was looking at Shop and Squirtle items that I can show in the video, but I think I found something pretty much better than what I was looking for. Look at this. This is a website made by some dude who was just using all the Shop and Squirtle items there. It's just listed with the same currency. I don't know why I found it, but it's so funny to me. I don't know why it's there, and I really want to show this in the video. There's no other reason. If we click on an item, let's say like we want, let's get the Poliwag doll. Oh fuck, yeah, that always brings you to a fucking number. I'm gonna blur it. Anyways, let's go to the Poliwag doll. It comes with the same overview with a cute Poliwag plush doll. And the customer review is just the Pokemon saying it too. This literally is the funniest shit ever. I don't know why it's always happening to me, but I'm not complaining. They got everything right down to the fucking price. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's a Smoochum Shape Up channel. That's a channel hosted by Smoochum, and you just see 5 Smoochum doing 4 different exercises. And Pikachu joins in. And I joined in. Okay, this is it. Relax. The neighbors are gonna actually fucking visit me now. Quiz Wobbuffet. Quiz Wobbuffet is a game show hosted by Wobbuffet. There are 3 contestants inside 3 Pokeball pods. The 3 contestants are asked 6 questions in total, which only one of them can answer. The goal is to answer 3 questions so you can be on the grounds, because you start up all the way up. Answer a question correctly and you get lower. However, if you answer wrong, nothing happens and the next question is up. There are 3 categories. First one is silhouettes. You have to answer which silhouette belongs to which Pokemon. The second one is match that cry. It plays out a Pokemon cry and you have to guess which Pokemon it belongs to. Last but not least, there's Peekaboo, which shows you only a small part of the Pokemon and you have to answer which Pokemon it is. After the first 3 questions, or after the final question, Boba Fett asks the player a question based off one of the 3 categories mentioned before. If you answer correctly, you get money. Answer wrong, you get nothing. I also want to mention that everything is random, so every time you boot up the channel, the results are always different. It's time for Quiz Wobbuffet! Alright, who are you betting on? Oh, I have to bet for my boy now! Come on, Pichu, go get him! Go get him! I don't know what that Pokemon is. I can't even fucking tell. So that's so weird. Is it a bird? Oh, it's a Golbat. Yeah, come on, get it! Get it! Let's go! Pichu's got it, man! Come on! Yeah! That's the weirdest pose I've ever seen a Golbat. Come on! What's happening here? I don't know. Come on, get it, get it. Yeah! Let's go! Yeah! Pichu might win this! Let's go! Just one more! It's a Crobat! Come on! Pichu! Pichu! Pichu's smart. Yeah, he's gonna get it. Come on! It's a Crobat, you know it. Someone must know by now? Oh, this is bad. I don't think Pichu's gonna answer. What? Come on. Oh my god, he actually fucking destroyed the competition. That's my boy. That's my boy right here. He did it! And that was the final channel of the day. The only thing we can do now is to report it back to Professor Oak and tell us what happened. After our report, Professor Oak gives us the Smeargle statue. The Smeargle statue allows you to paint only in the anime channels. Once you're finished, your masterpiece is on your wall. You can even name that thing. I call this Fall Guys. Reporting the game again will trigger the next cutscene, where Pikachu uses Thunderbolt on the TV. Thanks, asshole, it's not like I wanted you and now you're just ruining my fucking shit. Anyways, Oak sends you a replacement TV for the rest of the day. However, the TV is old and is only showing things black and white. So have fun watching that. Now we're free to do whatever we want, but we're not getting new content till the next day. So we're basically stuck rewatching the same TV channels that we already have, or we can check out the art. But you would usually tend to quitting the game for a day, or time travel. If you quit the game, Pikachu waves you goodbye and you're back on the title screen. Before I talk about the rest of the game, I still have to talk about the world and how it functions. First off, we have 4 different time periods: morning, day, evening and night. We have 3 different weather conditions: clear, cloudy and rain. And we are also split in 4 different areas. First is Mintail Town, the city we're living in. You know, it's small, has some houses, but you can't really explore this town as you would like to. You can only explore the yard, and from the yard you can access Springleaf Field. It's available from the start, but it's just grassy terrains. However, this is where the intro also takes place. It has windmills and a strange hole. We'll get to that one later. Now this is where I talk about the bus passes. The bus passes can only be obtained through Shop and Squirtle, which makes it actually really easy to get these. You still need to be lucky, but usually the game prioritizes bus tickets. Cobalt Coast. It requires the Cobalt Pass to even get to Cobalt Coast. It's just a beach with a hidden cave. In the hidden cave, you can fish for Pokemon. The location of Cobalt Coast is in Kanto, because it's also the same location that Hey You Pikachu used, which is the prequel to this game. Next up is Viridian Forest. But this Viridian Forest isn't protected like the games where you just fight annoying bug trainers. This Viridian Forest has a campfire event which can be only accessed at the night and has a code. That's what I missed. What? Minigame? He's getting high. He is getting high. The council has judged you. I mean, at least I see it like that. I mean, you're not gonna doubt me, right? Mount Snowfall. Mount Snowfall requires the Snowfall Pass, and it's also just mountains. With the Ruins of Truth, of course, which is something really important later on. And there's also a singing cutscene, which, yeah, that's awesome. However, this is the one place where it doesn't rain. It's replaced with snow. So this also changes a little bit, but not too much. If it rains on that place, it's just snow. The location, however, is kind of weird. It's snow mountains located north from Mintail Town and west from literally every other location. So I would guess if it's somewhere between Johto and Kanto because of Mount Silver. If you think about the HeartGold and Soul Silver remake, because that's where Johto and Kanto were connected, and based off of that, yes, it would be between those two. Throughout the world, Pokemon are appearing right then and there, but they have a scheduled time and weather condition when they show up, obviously the place too. But they only give you nice cards if you answer their question correctly. But if you already have the question answered, they'll give you money. And also, nice cards are the collectibles in the game. I mean, it's a Pokemon game, not having collectibles would be a sin. I don't know what these plants are. I would say Mandrake because it has Drake in it. Is it Mandrake? Can I just for the meme say Mandrake? The only thing I recognize is Mandrake. That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. Please. Yes! Bellsprout is Drake! Oh boy, look at the time. It's time for some Game Fury. And today I'm trying to figure out where Mintail Town is located. I think it could be located in or near Kanto, but it's also in the part where it features Hoenn Pokemon, so kinda has to be also between Hoenn. Since Hoenn is already located southwest from Kanto and Johto, it makes sense then, you know, it could be there. Let's not forget that Fire Red and Leaf Green is a game that came out later, which also featured Hoenn Pokemon, but only after obtaining the National Pokédex. They do not appear on the wild. The only Pokemon that you can catch from the wild in those games is Deoxys, and Deoxys doesn't count since that's a Pokemon from space. So we're kind of in the predicament. What I think is happening is that the Pokemon in the Pokemon channel are also using the bus to travel to the other places. That's as much as my theory goes. Maybe they fly there, maybe they even live there. Maybe they're like exceptions. I cannot go from much on, and kind of hard to tell where it actually could be located. In conclusion, I cannot give you a full answer, but you at least understand how the world functions. So let's move on. Day 2. Flying magnets bring you back your TV that Pikachu destroyed the other day. And Pikachu visits you again just to kick you in the balls, I guess. Anyways, the cutscenes aren't really that important. Let's just jump into the TV programs. We have Slowpoke Weather Report. The host here is Slowpoke. He tries to predict the weather. Every time I watch him, I just have the fattest grin on my face. Smeargle Art Study. The host here is a Smeargle. He criticized your art that you made with the Smeargle statue. Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Smeargle. Oh, I hope he's not hard on it. That's me. That's me. That's me.
Smeargle.
That's a weird criticism. Attention to detail. Truly splendid. I would be honored to have this painting grace my home entrance. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I mean, what can I say? I made that masterpiece in 10 seconds. Of course I'm gonna cry. Pichu Bros Part 2. So apparently the crescent moons are actually invitations for Meowth's party. The gang didn't know this yet, so they basically trespass Meowth's storage room, I guess. And they'll see the fruits. However, they got stopped by 3 Squirtles and a Cubone, who told them to fuck off and leave my property alone, and you're not allowed to enter unless you have the invitation, which they didn't have. It's time for day 3. This is a bit different now, because Pikachu actually wakes up in your house instead of visiting you like usually. And this is also the moment where you can name your own Pikachu. Let's call our Pikachu. Want to give it? Yeah, that's a good nickname. Now to the TV programs. We have Examination, Hatch Up Poke Egg. There's a Pokemon egg and you have to guess which Pokemon hatches out of the egg. Usually the Pokemon egg does have the color of the Pokemon that you have to guess, but sometimes it's just a regular egg and you have to match it from the cry. It's really not that fun of a channel, but I pretty much enjoyed watching 20 minutes for just $50. And yes, just like the quiz show, you can get money. However, you only get 50 if you get it correct. But the best part about this channel is the trivia on top. It's always charming reading the slowest message on top of the screen just because Houndoom is a Pokemon that actually died of Ligma. It's so fucking wacky and I enjoy that a lot. Next up we have the Fortune channel, and it's hosted by Chansey. You'll basically choose 1 out of 5 cookies and you get your fortune on screen, which can only be displayed once per day. Yeah, that's about it. That's the worst channel of the game.
I hate this channel.
Pichu Bros Part 3, baby. Now the gang's in pursuit of the invitation, and the Pichu Bros are getting chased by Houndour. The Pichu Bros did manage to catch the invitation, and Houndour dies. Day 4. Pikachu invited his friends over just to watch some TV, but he doesn't know how to even fucking shut it on. So the friends leave and we're basically back to our regular gameplay routine. But this time we have 4 new channels. That's revolutionary. Let's start out with Mareep Farm. This is just a relaxed channel. Mareep is jumping over fences and you're just counting them. Also Pikachu falls asleep in this, so that's kind of charming. Chum Chum Ranking. Alright, this is gonna be a bit weird because you basically start off with a ranking of Pokemon which isn't based off anything. But this next category makes more sense. We asked 100 Pokemon. It's basically they asked 100 Pokemon which of the 2 in-game items are better. Play a secret category which just reveals 3 random achievements. Probably knowing that information from the report channel, since that's what you're supposed to do as a good boy, right? Do not forget the reports. I mean, you wouldn't even be progressing through the game if you didn't report, so... yeah. Odd one out. A few oddish walk around the field and you kinda have to guess if the number of the oddish are either even or odd. And this is where if you guess correctly or know the answer or can count, you get money. I cannot do any of these, so I basically lost more money, which isn't even possible. Pichu Bros Part 4. It turns out that the invitation the Pichu Bros were chasing after the last part were from an oddish, and he's now very sad. The Pichu Bros decide to give it back to him, and he's being a big asshole and just leaves. Azumarill comes in clutch and delivers the invitations to the entire gang.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
The invitations fly away, they have to chase it back. This time they get it, and the end of the animation kind of ends in a 3D CGI the moment they are at the party, which is kind of weird, but I kind of like that. Magnemite lost the Peach Bros Part 5 CD. Our job is to find the CD and bring it back to the TV station. Professor Oak tells us that the CD is located in the Ruins of Truth, located in Mount Snowfall. Hold up. Are you telling me that when you drop a CD from a grassy field, it just happens to land on the snowy mountains? Whatever.
He orchestrated it. Jimmy!
We can't enter the ruins yet because Gengar is blocking the way. To get rid of him, we need a dust skull lamp to scare him off. I would like to humbly apologize for my wording in the next part, but that's just the words the game gave me and I cannot work with anything else. So, like I said, I apologize. A dust skull can only appear at night when the weather is not raining. So you have to come out at this specific time and have to be lucky that it doesn't rain. Knowing this now, we can now talk to our best friend Dust Skull. He wouldn't give us the lamp so fast. He lost his ball, which he can't find. I wonder where he put it. I wonder where he lost the ball. Is it maybe in the strange hole that I mentioned earlier that I said we would come back to? So yeah, the ball is actually hidden inside the hole, and we could actually play with the ball with Pikachu way earlier than this event. Yeah, that's how I found out about it. Yeah, now you can just give the ball back and you get rewarded the Dust Skull lamp. So now with the lamp equipped, we scare Gengar away and enter the Ruins of Truth. Inside is nothing but darkness. Pikachu is scared, and the music becomes eerie. There are two flowers, and clicking on them creates light. If we move forward, there will be one board with one question. True or false? Pikachu senses its surroundings using electric pouches. Answer wrong, a Golbat will attack you. But answer correct, a Golbat statue will appear with the CD inside. Pikachu then tries to receive the CD inside of Golbat's mouth. Wow, that really sounds wrong. Anyways, he gets stuck inside, and I did the most rational thing anyone could have done in my situation. Watch him struggle. Yeah, I don't need to do anything. Now that we're done, we return the CD back to the Magnemite and we can watch the last part of the Peach Bros special. We continue with the 3D animation, since last part ended with a 3D animation. However, now Meowth sings a song and I don't know if it's copyrighted or not, but I'm not gonna take any chances, so we're gonna skip through that. After the party, the animation shifts back to 2D where the Peach Bros ends with a fireball. Not much to say, but at least it was a satisfying ending. After watching the final part, the only thing left to do is to report to Professor Oak one final time, save the game, and come back tomorrow. Before the final part, make sure that you're logging in back at night. Starting the game now, Pikachu will wake up from your bed. You're back to the report channel, and Professor Oak rewards you with a star projector. That star projector is located at Camp Starlight. Camp Starlight can only be accessed at night. That's why you have to log in at night. However, this isn't the only thing that happens. Jirachi then visits the player, and then wants to watch the entirety of Peach Bros on the star projector. And then the credits play, and this is the end of the game. It's time for the bonuses! Yes, you heard me right, we're talking about bonus features in the game. Once you re-enter the game after you watch the credits, Togepi will gift you the Pichu Bros Kazumi Edition disc. Kazumi just means Misty in Japanese. She is the narrator there, and you just rewatch the entirety of Pichu Bros but with a different narrator. It's also in Japanese, so good luck watching that, no subtitles. If you let Pikachu crawl under your bed when he asks you that question, he will come back with a Pokemon mini cartridge and game console. The Pokemon mini console is the smallest handheld console made by Nintendo to this day. It came out with 3 different color variants, blue, purple and green, and it came out with around 10 games. Half of them are Japanese exclusive. In Pokemon Channel we have 3 more colors and an exclusive game. The colors are red, gold and wood, and for the exclusive game it's called Snorlax Lunchtime. Wow, I think this is the only time Nintendo cared about emulation. I always thought back then that this was just a bonus feature from the developers. Turns out that these were actual emulators, which makes me question, what the hell went wrong, Nintendo? Now the reason why I don't talk about the Pokemon minigames is because, well, it's just that, they're just minigames. The only game that is worth mentioning is the Tetris clone, and that isn't even a Pokemon Channel. Every Pokemon mini related item can be bought from Shop and Squirtle. But nobody cares about that, it's all about Jirachi, baby! Jirachi is still obtainable to this day even, which is kinda crazy if you think about it. All you have to do is beat the game once, then go to the options menu, make sure that you have an adapter that links your Gamecube with the GBA you have, and voila! You have a Jirachi in your Pokemon Emerald. Have fun using it. This Jirachi will be level 5 with random nature and 3 moves, Wish, Confusion and Rest. The owner will always state channel. But before we continue, let's talk a little bit about the e-reader. The e-reader was an add-on for the GBA and Gamecube. It just basically reads cards for content, and that majorly flopped, so yeah, that's why we don't see it anymore. And if you're someone from Europe, we didn't even get the chance to see an e-reader. However, this game was made to promote an e-reader, so yeah, we also have bonuses here. In one version we have the 6 pattern card, a Pikachu card and Kyogre card. In the other version it replaces Kyogre with Jirachi, and these are just cards that you can color in the game. Did you know that this game even had an expansion pack? I didn't either, but here I am now. The first thing you get from the expansion pack is obviously the e-reader cards, but the next thing is, well, the 4 extra channels. The 4 extra channels here are Movie Channel 1, a short movie detailing the history of all Pokemon movies. Movie Channel 2, that provides you a trailer for the Jirachi Wishmaker movie. Fun fact, in that movie Jirachi used Teleport, a move that Jirachi actually cannot learn. The third channel is Event Channel, only shows fireworks. And lastly we have the Nintendo Channel, which shows a trailer for various merchandise and games. Let's move on to the free footage. I think that was the most random thing I've ever done for this video, because it was just randomly recommended for me and I was really interested once I saw it. So in that E3 video we see the TV in the intro that has no buttons. The UI was kind of like Zelda, where the text was like saying what it does with a colored circle in the background. The cursor was 3D. And there's a basket that was replaced with the donut jar later on during the fishing minigame. But that's all the differences I could spot. Maybe you can find something, I'll link the video in the description. Before I begin the next section, I want to give a quick shout out to the Cutting Room Floor website, because that's where I got most of the information for the next part. So if you want to find out about your favorite game and the cut content it has, well, there you go. The link's in the description. In the Japanese version of the game, there's a disc for every channel, not just Pichu Bros Part 5. However, those were removed in the PAL version of the game. My theory would be that it's just like the Pichu Bros Part 5 disc that is already in the game. You find it, you're granted channel access. But that's just a theory. Okay! Here's a screenshot of Quiz Wobbuffet that has been edited by the Smeargle statue. Here's a test sprite of Professor Oak. Here's a TV test screen based on the Philips PM5544. Up next we have 2 ribbons. One that reads Pichu, meaning that was actually planned for Pichu to be in the intro of the game, and one that reads Pikachu with Friends. Here's an earlier version of the Pokemon Channel logo. You can see that in the word channel, the words are colored. What I find kind of weird but also interesting is that the colors actually correspond to the TV screen test that I've shown you earlier. Now talking about the models, we'll start off with a power bar. I don't know what that could have been used for, but it's there. Next up is an earlier version of the Nice Card model. Here you can see the clear difference that this one is vertical instead of horizontal, like in the final game. And instead of saying Pokemon Nice Card, it says Nice Card Nice Card. But this was already a test object, so it makes sense that it got changed. Next up we have a popsicle stick that has the word Hatsure written on it. This is easy to explain what it means. In Japan it's common for popsicles to be part of a little lottery game. If you get the right popsicle stick, you could win a small prize, like a popsicle. Since this one here says Hatsure, which means miss, you lost. However, this is what a winning popsicle stick looks like, and I'm just gonna show it because I'm pretty sure after I uploaded this video, somebody's gonna ask me what it looks like. So here you go. I hope I made that one guy happy. So yeah, a planned little lottery game. That would have been sick if that wasn't the final game. Anyways, moving on. Here is an untranslated songbook with the Pichu brothers and Jigglypuff on it. And the text above them says Tanoshii Yuta, which translates to fun song or happy song or something like that. So you can see what kind of direction this goes. But I believe that this is just for decoration only. Up next is the rectangular shaped Ditto. An item so good that it could be its own Twitter gimmick account. But in all honesty, I don't know what that could have been used for, but it does look really funny. Inflatable Pokemon toys were several Pokemon toys that were removed from the game, and it is theorized that it could have been bought from Shop and Squirrel. Now this is where I put a little twist in this video. So instead of just showing you the items and what they are, I'm just gonna rank them from my least favorite to my favorites, just because they look all goofy, but I do have my favorites. Number 12 is Quillfish, number 11 is Staryu, number 10 is Magnemite, number 9 is Jigglypuff, number 8 is Coughing, number 7 is the Pokeball, number 6 is Cleffa, number 5 is Jumpluff, number 4 is Igglypuff, number 3 is Pikachu, number 2 is Meryl, and my favorite, number 1, is Torchic. I don't know, Torchic kind of looks really funny, that's why I chose him number 1. To truly let you know that this game is a sequel to Hey You Pikachu, you can buy this poster. Yeah, it's just it. It's just a Japanese poster for Hey You Pikachu. What do you expect? And our final item would be the computer. Yes, you heard me right. It was actually planned to have a PC in your room. I don't know why that was removed, because I think that looks pretty sick. And we also have a picture on how it looks like inside, or how the screen looks like. Which, well, the wallpaper there is also from Hey You Pikachu, and that's the only thing I could read. Speaking of Hey You Pikachu, did you know that the entire soundtrack of Hey You Pikachu is still present in the game data? Well, now you know. There are 2 unused scenes. The first one takes place in Cobalt Coast and is just an unused title screen. And that could be reinserted with the following code. The other scene is just an earlier version of the intro cutscene, which excludes Mudkip but includes Togepi and Pichu. So my boy was planned. What the fuck went wrong in the development there? There's also the debug menu, but I'm not gonna talk about it that much since it's just viewing objects and models, sometimes in different places too. So if you're really interested in that, I'll leave a link in the description. But now, it's time to finish this video. The reception of this game is mixed.
Pokemon Channel is a game about the little things in life, like watching TV after a day at school, and more than just the programming itself, but the bumpers and commercials in between too.
And that's about it. There really isn't much else to say about Pokemon Channel. While I wouldn't really recommend buying it if it were still on store shelves and its novelty wears off quick if you're not a dumb child, I'm a dumb child, and I actually found myself enjoying the hour or so I spent playing it each day to get footage and beat the game, so to speak.
Well, this is all I could say about Pokemon Channel. It's not a half-bad game. I mean, yes, the premise is stupid, but somehow they made it work. This game is made up of a ton of little distractions that will only entertain you for 5 minutes apiece. But when you add up all those little distractions, you get a game that will easily entertain you for a week or two.
Pokemon Channel makes watching TV boring. If you ever thought it would be cool to hang out with Pikachu, think again. Pokemon Channel was a bizarre concept, but it wasn't a bad one. I found one more on some weird fucking website, and it gave me a fucking virus on my PC.
Even I agree this game has many flaws. For example, there is no cursor sensitivity option. Since you play this game with an in-game cursor, it would have been great if you had that. The stick is too fast for me and the D-pad is too slow. There isn't enough content after beating the game. Some channels don't have anything to offer and it's just there to waste your time. To beat the game, you must watch Peach Bros twice. You can't fully explore the locations in the game. You're just restricted to one area of the location. There's some Pokemon models that just look horrible. They straight up look like they're Frankenstein's new creation. Don't believe me? Look at what they did to my boy. They massacred my boy. I think you get my point. But despite that, there are things about this game that I absolutely love. It's established pretty much early on, before you even start the game, that we're just testing TV programs. And that explains why you report everything to Professor Oak, why Delibird and Magnemite know your location, and why Smoochum knows how much you watch the TV. This makes sense because we report everything to Professor Oak. The TV is easy to use and simple to navigate. What I mean by this is you can basically use the buttons to turn off the TV, turn it on, switch channels, and you already know what I think about the cursor. This soundtrack is underrated and it gives me a lot of Animal Crossing vibes. Every channel being unique in their own ways, it's really charming to see that, especially the Peach Bros anime. The fact that this anime exists shows that how much Umbrella really cared about this game. Naming your Pokemon is pretty standard in Pokemon games, but it's still great to see it here. Every location has some different event going on, and it's always fun to participate in those. Like this game has a goddamn fishing minigame! What more should I ask for? And the ending where Jirachi visits your own home is really satisfying. And it gets even better if you're one of the pal boys and get Jirachi in your own game.
Jirachi, get rid of the problem!
Get rid of problem? Okay.
Before I wrap things up and call it a day, I still have to talk about one more thing. That thing is the most important thing in the game. Earthbound is just a small little RPG made by an indie developer, you know. So in that game, there's a place called Magicant. Magicant is a place that can only be entered by Ness, the main character. And there, Ness gets confronted by his memories. But there's a specific point where he talks to his past self. It's me, I'm you when you were younger. Hey, let's play ball. Do you prefer reading comics or playing games? What? You're busy. And this leads to the most important thing in the game, Pikachu. When I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of TV, rewatching the same channels repeatedly, and even sleeping in front of the TV instead of my own bed. I got upset when anyone disagrees with me, I destroyed electronics when I was younger, and obviously I was naive and excited for everything that happened. My point is that I saw a lot of myself in that Pikachu. After that realization, I felt disconnected. It's pretty common sense that obviously I don't belong in that world. However, at one point in my life, I did consider that. When I was a kid, I loved being in the Pokemon world, even though it's more with the games. And this game is not different. But the more I realized that this Pikachu is just a younger version of myself, the more I felt disconnected from everything. I couldn't see the same things that Pikachu does. Eventually, I would just stare, looking at him, looking at the game. But I wouldn't feel special as, I once did. And personally, I think this is where the game shines the best. Not by intention, by creating something that is outside of the controls of the developers. They created a memory that represents my younger self reincarnated in the Pokemon world as a Pikachu. Now that could be an anime. And since I grew up with Pokemon, it makes sense that this franchise represents my past. I love this game. So here's a present for the game, for myself, and for you.